Hello students, so today we're going to focus on geometry unit part 1, and that will be level 2. So in level 2 we will continue talking about some of the geometric formulas that we use to solve different areas and perimeters or circumference based on what shape we have given. So today specifically we're going to talk about circles. So Circles worksheet will be the assignment you have to complete once you're done with your notes. Before we begin, I want to make sure everybody has note-taking guide in front. You need to write this information down. All the formulas, everything what I'm going to share with you is very important. You haven't practiced with yet. In order to learn that, you definitely need the stuff in front of you. You have to have your notes completed. So, if I have given circle and I want to know what is the area of the circle or how to calculate the circumference of the circle, I have to use two specific formulas. First thing, area of the circle will be the space inside the circle, just like other geometric shapes. So this space inside will be the area. How do we get what this space is equal to? We're using formula called A is equal to pi times r square. So this is number pi. Pi, we're going to use approximately 3.14 for pi. Okay, so you can use pi as a one of the tools on the calculator, or you can just type 3.14 and try to remember that pi will be equal to 3.14 with the calculations. R is the radius of the circumference of the circle. Radius of the circle is when you have the center of the circle, and this half part is what we call radius. This is the radius. Also, the circle has a diameter. So diameter of the circle will be from one point all the way across to the other point. This is diameter of the circle. When we apply area formula, you need to know the radius in order to calculate the area. When you're looking for circumference of the circle, which is the distance around the circle, so this part over here, the line, imagine you break down the circle. If you break down the circle, it's going to open as a line. So if you start over here and you go all the way around and you end up here, this is what we call circumference, the distance around a circle. So to calculate how long will be this length around, we're using C equals pi, again this is pi, 3.14 times d. Times d is the diameter of the circle. Sometimes, if you don't know diameter and you know the radius, then you can call the circumference formula will be equal to pi times 2 times r, 2 times the radius. Because this is what the diameter is equal to. Diameter is 2 times the radius. Because the radius is just half of it, and diameter is 2 times this half part over here. So write down this formula. This is the one of the major formulas for the circumference, and this is the other one for the area of the circle. Please make sure you have this information written down, and once you're done you can continue with the video. So again, as a reminder, you can pause the video right now. I will keep going with the examples. When you're ready, you can continue watching the video and see the examples I'm going to show you. Example number 1. We have a circle and we're asked to calculate the circumference and the area of this circle. So the circumference formula is pi times d, and the area formula is pi times r square. Now, if I need to calculate the area first, I will say A is equal to 3.14 times the radius is given to be 50 yards to the second power. So this is 50 and this is r. Okay. So on your calculator, you are going to type, we'll start with 3.14 times. Then I want you to open the parentheses and put inside number 50. Close the parentheses and then square that number. So you can use the square button over here, or you can use this one over here and type 2. So let's say I'm going to use this tab over here and we'll type number 2. So that shows me 50 to the second power. And this will be equal to, and we get 7,000. So the area of this circle is 7,850 yards square. We're done with the area. Let's take a look at the circumference. Now the circumference is pi times d. We know pi is 3.14. Now look back to the picture. Do we know what d is equal to? No, we know only the radius. But also we know that the diameter is equal twice the radius. So I will say just times 2 twice the radius 50. Then the circumference will be 3.14 times 2 times 50 is 100, and you can just actually plug in all the numbers and say 3.14 times 2 times 50 will give me 314 yards will be the circumference of the circle. Alright, so let's take a look at another example. Next example, it's a little bit different than this one. So we have given diameter of the circle. So we know d, this is d, the diameter is 25 centimeters. Well, the circumference formula is pi times d, which is 3.14 times 25. So this is pretty easy to solve. We just multiply 3.14 times 25. And the answer will be 785 centimeters. And we're done with the circumference. Now let's take a look at the area. Area is pi times r to the second. If you have 25 centimeters for diameter, what will be r equal? Half of this. So the radius will be half of this, right? So how do we calculate? We divide 25 divide by 2. 25 divided by 2 is 12.5. 12.5. So this is the radius, and we're going to substitute this number over here. So the area is equal to 3.14 for pi times the radius we got is 12.5 to the second power. So let's go ahead and plug in all those numbers on the calculator. We will begin with 3.14 times, use the parentheses, put 12.5, close it, and then just go ahead and click this x to the second button. So x to the second will give us 490 times 6.3. So I'm gonna round this number to 6.3. 490.63 centimeters square will be the answer for the area here. And with this, I'm done with my second example. Next thing, I want you to look through another example that is given as a word problem. So example number 3. A top face of hockey puck is a circle with a 1.5-inch radius. What is the area and the circumference of the top face of the hockey puck? So let's just, kind of make a circle. And then it says that the circle has 1.5-inch radius. So this is the center of the circle. This part over here, half of it is the radius, and the radius is given to be 1.5 inches. Once we know what the radius is, it's going to be very easy to find the area and then the circumference. So the area will be pi times r square. So this is equal to 3.14 times, instead of r, now we put 1.5 to the second power. So using the calculator, we will say 3.14 times, open the parentheses, 1.5 inside, square this number, and will be equal to 7.07. Again, I'm gonna round it, so about 7 square inches will be the area of this circle. What is the circumference? The circumference will be pi times 2 times r. We don't know the diameter, so we put times 2 times r. So the circumference will be 3.14 times 2 times r is 1.5. So if we plug in all those numbers on the calculator, here's what we're gonna get. 3.14 times 2 times 1.5 will be equal to 9.42. 9.42 inches will be the circumference of that shape. So today, this is all for your notes, and you can go ahead and start working with the worksheet. You will see several circles on it, and I want you to practice with the circumference area, and then you will see a few word problems as additional thing to that worksheet. So let me know if you have questions. Please make sure you're using discussion board online if you want to and need to, and that's it for now. We'll see you in class. Thank you.